parts or data structure parts of Python. Same Python. As you are having string, likewise you are having different collections. Collections are nothing but multiple datas are grouped together, but how the datas are grouped together and which datas are grouped together, whether they are of the same type, whether they are of different type, how you are accessing those variables. So these are some of the datas or some of the, you can say, constraints which are to be concentrated on. So along with the basic data types like strings are there, integers are there. Likewise, the other collection data which are available in Python are list, tuple, set, and dictionary. So these are the four collection data types in Python language. Now today we will concentrate on list and tuple. So list is nothing but is a collection which is ordered and changeable. Ordered signifies that one-to-one correspondence is there. So one-to-one correspondence signifies what? One-to-one correspondence signifies that element number 1, element number 2, element number 3, they are all ordered one after the other. So you can't say that one is there, fifth is there, seventh is there, 10th is there. This type of ordering is not there. It is in a sequence starting from 0 till the last element. All the elements are in a sequence: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise changeable. Changeable signifies that you can change the values. So if a0 that is equal to 1, so this one value can be changed whenever you want to change it. So that is nothing but lists are considered as they are ordered as well as they are changeable. Apart from that, duplicate elements or duplicate values are possible in case of list. You can have two values which are of the same value. Likewise, tuples. So tuples, they are, we'll see demonstration of this two part today. That tuples are also ordered from 0, starting with the 0, 1, 2, 3 onwards. But they are not changeable. So they are not changeable means once I had fixed the value of the first element as 2, then it will remain 2 only throughout the program. You can't change. It is unchangeable. It is considered as unmutable. So allows duplicate numbers. Numbers can be duplicated. So 2 is occurring for 5 times in tuple, in list, that is allowed. But in case of set, in case of dictionary, duplicate members are not allowed. So you can see over here set and dictionary. Again, I'm telling you these things are different than that of C language. In C language, you are having arrays. There is nothing like array in this scenario. As far as Python is concerned, a different array module is there. So array module has to be imported, and using that array module, you can work as arrays are working in C. But the basic collections which are available in Python, the basic are list, tuple, set, and dictionary. So we'll see the demonstration of all this so that it would be more clearer to you that what is the meaning of ordered and changeable, ordered and unchangeable, unordered and unindexed. Even indexing is not from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Indexing is different. Likewise, in case of dictionary, it is considered as unordered. Unordered means same thing I'm telling you. It is not 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is totally unordered depending on the name value pairs. Whatever the name is there, depending on that, you are not having any ordered. Likewise, it is changeable. This is changeable. It is indexed from 0, 1, 2, 3. So likewise, indexing is always possible in case of dictionary. So these two things we will see in tomorrow's session. But list and tuple, if you're aware of this, all the functions are applicable on sets, dictionary. Similar functions are applicable. So now come to list part first. So as I told you that list is nothing but collection of data type or collection of data. But what data you can insert within list? So that is important. So a list is a collection which is ordered and changeable. In Python, lists are written in square brackets. So wherever you are using square bracket, it is considered as a list. So you can see over here that when you create a list, a static list in which directly you are providing the values, it is this list contains string type of values: apple, banana, and cherry. So if I'm printing the list, it will print all these values one by one. Apple, banana, cherry, it is the whole list. But the main important part is square brackets. Likewise, how are you accessing the list? So it is accessing through index. So yesterday only in case of string, we have seen that you are providing index to each and every variable, each and every value within string. Likewise, here also items are indexed. The first element is nothing but indexed at zeroth location, indexed at first location, second. So that index number is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 onwards. So here if I am telling this apple, apple is located at index number 0, 1, 2, cherry. So if I simply want to want to print at index number 1, so second is the element which is at index number 1, 0, 1, 2. So 0, 1, 2. So that is the index. But here, as yesterday it was shown that when you want to reverse a list or when you want to print an element, because a huge collection of data is there, you are not always starting from first, second, third, fourth. So because of that, in case of Python, even reverse indexing are possible or negative indexes are provided. So what does negative indices provide? So this is 0, we have started with the forward manner, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But in negative indexing, it is starting with -1. So the last element is at index -1, second is -2, -3, -4. The same criteria what we used in string, in list also the same negative indexing pattern is used. So in this case, if I want to print element at index number -1. So what -1 signifies? If there are n elements, then the element which is stored at index number n. So this is the last element. This is considered as -1. So cherry would be printed if you are writing what? -1. So the same scenario is applicable as string. Now here you are having what? Ranges of indices. So 2 to 5. So 2 to 5 in always ranging what is considered and what is not considered. The starting index is always considered. The ending index is not considered. So excluding this, what is there? So 2, 3 and 4. Value at index number 2, 3 and 4 that would be considered. So apple is stored at index number 0, 1, 2. So 2, 3 and 4. So these three values would be printed cherry, orange and kiwi. Likewise, if you are writing colon 4 means what? You are not giving the starting index. If starting index is not there, it is always assumed as 0. So it will start with 0, will go till 3. 4 is not included. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So these are the values which are printed first, second, third and fourth. Negative indices. So in case of negative index, what is that? That it is starting from -1. So mango is located at index number -1, melon -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7. So likewise, the negative indices are provided. So here, can I provide -1 to -4? So -1 signifies what? So always when you are printing a list in reverse, it won't never it will be printed in negative way. It will always print in positive direction. Positive means forward direction. So from the right side to the left side, from left side to the right side, only the printing is there. So if I'm writing -4 to -1, so -4 equivalent to what? So -4. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4. So this is -4 and this is -1. So how many elements are printed? So -1 is not considered. So this element won't be considered. So it is printing what? Orange, kiwi and melon. So are you getting this? -4 to -1. So index number 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is equal to 4, 4 to 6. So only these elements are printed. Seventh is not printed. The seventh element is not printed. If you attended the lecture properly in yesterday's session, then the same scenario was used in strings also. Just to refresh your knowledge so that you can concentrate properly for the other topics. Now here, if you want to change the value directly, you can write what? The list name and the index. Index are always specified in square brackets. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, either positive index or negative index. It should not be out of bound. If out of bound is there, it will give you error. So here 0, 1, 2, -1, -2, -3. These are the possible index value which you can provide in this case. So this is possible So this is possible values of indices through which you can access any value within the list. Likewise, loop. Say for loop we have seen day before yesterday. So in that, what is that? That for x in the list, print x. So it will take one by one. This x will take one by one value from this list. So the first value of x in is the operator which is taking one by one value from the list. So x initially value it would be apple, then second time it would be banana, third time it would be cherry. So here nothing like 0, then 1, then 2. This type of scenario is there. It is always iterated automatically, incremented by 1. So it is not keeping any value. It will increment and then print the values. So I think list, that how to declare the list and how to access the element within the list must be clear now. So now the thing is, if you want to check that whether some element is there within the list or not. So if Apple directly you are providing the value that this value is there within the list, it should provide if it is there. So if it is if statement is there. So if this is there, it will simply provide yes or no, whatever message you want to print, you may print. If it is not provided, you can specify here else condition also. So existing of a value within the list. If I want to find the length of the list, then the function is len. So len is the function in which you have to provide argument as the list. So list you are providing what should be the value of this 1, 2 and 3. So 3 should be your answer. The length of this string, length of this list is 3. Likewise, how to add values within my list. So if the list is empty, you can add one by one element using append function. So if the list is empty, you can add one by one element using append function. If the list already contains some element, and if you are calling the append function, it will always, the element is always added at the end of the list. So append signifies that in between you are not able to add, it will always add the element at the end of the list. So at the end, when you want to add at that time, it is list dot append, then you have to specify the corresponding value. So this is nothing but append function. So it will append where orange will be appended, apple, banana, cherry, and the fourth value would be orange. So are you getting this? So this is append function adding. So whenever a huge amount of data is there, a collection of data is there, at that time three functions are useful to you, or three functionalities are always used. The first thing is you want to insert some element, you want to delete some element, and you want to update some element, isn't it? So currently what we are concentrating on is inserting element within list. So the first function through which you can insert an element within the list is append. So append is a function through which you can insert the element, but always the element is inserted at the end. As the last element, it is appended within the list. Likewise, another function to insert an element is at a specific index. So I don't want always to be appended at the end or at the last. If I want to append at some specific location, so that location is needed, then don't use append function, use insert function. To provide value to list, append is possible, insert is possible, but insert needs two parameter. It is not asking you only the value, but it also needs index. So at which index you want to add the value? So here it is 1 orange. So can you tell me that where it could be added? So it is at index number 1. Apple is at index number 0. So orange should be added at index number 1, then banana would be at index number 2, then cherry at 4. Are you getting? So it is automatically shifting and all the indices are updated. So once you are inserting at a specific location, but if you are using append, then what will happen? Indices of previous elements will remain the same. Only index of the last element that would be updated, that last element is added at index number 4. So this is a difference between insert and append. Insert at a specific location, append at the end. So as I told you that when collection of data items are there with you, when many data items are there with you, at that time insert, update and delete, these three functions are very useful to you, or these three things are very important. So one thing is that inserting is possible within the list using append and insert. Likewise remove. How to remove an element from the list? So there are several methods to remove element from the list. So one of the method is remove, the function remove, the method remove. So this is the list, and here to remove, if I am providing the parameter banana, then at what location banana is stored, that is automatically it is finding and then removing the element banana. So here what will happen? That here apple, banana, cherry, this is my original list. After calling this remove function, now you can see that function is there, module is there. At that time a dot operator is used with list. So list dot function name parameter, method name parameter. So here what will happen, this banana is removed and index number 0 apple is there, index number 1 cherry would be there. So indices are automatically shifted as and when the elements are inserted and deleted. So are you getting this? So in this case, when I'm printing the same list, I'll be able to print apple and cherry. I'll be able to print apple and cherry because banana is deleted. Remove always need one parameter. This should be the value within the list. Keep this thing in mind. You can't directly call remove. Remove, as you can know, that remove doesn't signify anything. But if you are providing parameter to the remove and this is one of the value within the list, then that value would be deleted. If that value is not existing, remove is of no use. Okay, removing an item, again it is possible using one of the other function, which is pop. So basically, if you are learning data structure, then in data structure as function, you can say a data structure is there, which is stack. In stack, the operation is pop. So the pop is what? Basically, pop signifies that remove the element, but which element has to be removed? The topmost element or the last element which is inserted within the data structure, within the data that has to be removed. So if apple, banana, cherry, so these are the three values within my list. Then last element is which element is the last element? Cherry. So pop element without pop method, without a parameter, that will always remove cherry. So keep this thing in mind. The last element within the list that is only removed if you are calling pop. Pop method removes the element, the last element, if the index is not specified. No index is specified, delete the last element. That is the meaning of pop. Take out the last element. But if index is specified, if I'm writing pop 1, so pop 1 means what? Zeroth element, first element. So pop 1 will delete element banana because at one index, the first index, which is the element which is stored, so it is banana, so that banana is removed. So are you getting this? Pop without argument, pop with argument. So this is pop without argument is similar to that of removing the last element, and with index that signifies that that index element has to be deleted. So that was removing elements, isn't it? Likewise, del is a function. Now here, if you want to, a keyword is there, which is del. So using keyword del also, you can remove the element. You can remove the element from the list. So see this, that apple, banana, cherry is there, and I am writing del. Del is the keyword. After that, the list with the index number. The list name with the index number means this is the element which I want to delete. So this delete keyword will directly delete this element, zeroth index element. So apple will be directly deleted. Using delete, you can directly delete apple. So demonstration for all this example, for all this function, we will see once list functions are over, because all are interconnected. Inserting one example would be there, deleting one example would be there. So delete is the keyword, or del is the keyword which will delete the specific element, and this element is the first element, and this banana will become first element. So once you're printing the list again, it will print from banana, cherry. The del keyword can also delete the list completely. Now here a specific element is specified. Instead of that, if I want to delete the whole list, then too it is possible. So del the whole list. So this will delete the whole list. Now this list will not be in existence. It is totally removed from the program. Now clear is one of the function. Now clear signifies what? All the elements within the list I want to delete, I want to remove, and there should not be any element within the list. Now it is similar to emptying the list, or you can say that empty the list. So clear method empties the list. So there are three elements, and when you are calling clear, so this list dot clear, what will happen? That it is making number of elements within this list as 0. So if I am printing the length of this element after this function clear, it will provide me 0. But if I want to print the number of element after I am calling del this list, then it will give you error, because this list won't be in existence once you are deleting the list. So are you getting the difference between del and clear? So del will totally remove the list from the memory, while clear will only clear all the elements from the list, making the list empty. So these are the two differences. So again, I'm simply revising the functions through which you can remove the elements from the list. The first one is remove. Remove with parameter, and that parameter must be the name of the item which you want to remove. Second thing is remove. So for that I told you remove with the parameter. The second function is pop. Pop without argument, delete the last element. Pop with argument will delete the specific index element from the list. The third is del keyword. The del delete keyword is there. Del keyword is there. It may be applicable on a specific element that is removed from the list. It may be applicable on the list name, which delete the whole list. And the last one is clear. So the clear function is again removing the element, but not one element, two element. It will clear all the elements. It will delete all the elements, but it will make the list empty. So 0 elements would be there within the list. So these are related to insert and delete. So two things we have seen. Now, apart from insert delete, you should update the values as and when needed within the list or within the data collections, whatever is provided to you. So to update the list, to update the values, the functions which are available with list are similar to that of string. The first function is copy. So from a list, you want to create other list, or you want to copy all the elements from one list to the other list. So make a copy of a list with the method copy. So this list contains three elements: apple, banana, cherry. Then I want similar list, but the name would be different, isn't it? So my list is equal to this list dot copy. So this list dot copy will do what? It will create same duplicate copy of this into my list. So my list will also have three values: apple, banana, and cherry. Three elements which are there in this list. So that is copying from one list to the other. So here you can use equal to store within the resultant list. Likewise, join the two list, concate two list. So it is possible using one of the operator, which is plus operator. So list one, list two. Again, the first scenario is list. Can you consider list as an array? So list is working as an array if you are only storing similar data types within the list. So if all elements within the list are integer, 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 it is working as an array. If all the elements within the list are all string, 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 it is working as an array. But it is a subpart. Are you getting? But the main thing within the list is it contains heterogeneous elements. Heterogeneous means what? Different data type elements can be stored within the single list. So within the single list, for that demonstration only, here it is shown that the first list contains element A, B, and C. If you are placing anything in double quotes or single quotes, it signifies it is a string. So this is a string list, and this is a numerical list, or you can say integer list: 1, 2, and 3. So list number 1 and list number 2, can you append these two lists together and create a new list? Yes, it is possible, because the tendency of the list, or the property of the list, says that two different data types can be combined together. So integer and string can be combined together, and you are getting the resultant list which contains both the things, integer and list. So this list 1 and list 2, list 3 will have 6 values: A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. All the things are combined together and are kept within list 3. Are you getting this? So that was two lists can be combined together by operator plus. So plus operator is applicable on list to concate two list and combination of two list and store into other. So apart from that, the same thing can be done using append function also. So append is one of the function which needs one by one elements within a list, and then you can say, see this, I'm having list number 1 which is ABC, list number 2 which contains 1, 2, 3. So here as append function only needs one parameter, one value. So because of that, a for loop has to be executed for 3 times. So 3 times means what? The length of the list 2. Whatever the length, the list 2 contains 3 elements, then it will execute it for 3 times. So the first value of x, that would be 1. So here you are doing what? List 1 which contains A, B, C. With this you are appending the value 1. So append function will always add at the end. So after C, 1 will be appended because x is nothing but 1 for the first time, 2 for the second time, 3 for the third time. So whenever you are adding a value, it is always added at the end. So this is equivalent to plus operator. So whenever you are adding list 1 plus list 2, it is similar to that of list 1 dot append one by one value within list 2. So this for loop is equivalent to plus operator, what we have seen in previous case. So joining two lists in two ways. So these are the functions which are considered as updation on list, plus and update and append function. Through both you can do the same. Now this is extend. So whether extend and append are same. So see this, that you can use extend function whose purpose is to add elements from one list to the other. One list to the other. If you want to append the elements, now what is that? That always this for loop is needed. Is there any shortcut if I don't want to use a plus? Now here it is a shortcut, that extend is a function which directly includes all the elements. See this, that list 1 dot extend list 2. So this is doing what? It is appending the element, all the elements of list 2 with list 1. So it is, the purpose of this is what? I'm not writing list 1 plus list 2. Instead of that, what we are writing is list 1 dot extend. But which list is extended? List number 1. And which elements are included in list number 1? All the elements of list number 2. So there are two ways. Either I can write list 1 is equal to list 1 plus list 2, or I can write list 1 dot extend list 2. Both the things will do what? It will do combination of list 1 plus list 2, and again list 1 is updated. So are you with me? What is the difference between append plus extend? So if you are doing plus, it is doing what? List 1 is equal to list 1 plus list 2. It is similar to list 1 dot extend list 2. So am I clear to you? So that was nothing but joining two lists. So joining two lists is possible using all these three things, plus, append and extend. Now there is one constructor which is list. So list means if you want to create an empty list. So simply you want to declare a list that this is the list empty, but in future I'll insert one by one element within the list. So there is one constructor. Constructor means what? An empty object. So currently we are not focusing on methods, how to create objects method, but just see that when you want to create an object, initial object, at that time one constructor is there which is list constructor, which is creating a list. A new list is created without any element. So no elements are there within the list, and using the list constructor you can do that. So the example is this, that list. So initially I want to create a list with values apple, banana, cherry. So you can use this list constructor, and the parameters what you are providing is 3 parameters. So I'm creating a list with initial 3 items apple, banana and cherry. So this thing has to be written in brackets. So round brackets are used. See this. If I want to create a list directly, I can write this list is equal to square bracket apple, banana, cherry. But through a constructor, if I want to create a list at that time, the scenario is like this, that 3 parameters, 3 items, and then you are calling the constructor which is list. And empty parenthesis signifies that no elements are there. With parenthesis with some value, it signifies that initially you are creating a list with 3 items. If you are printing it See this. So note the double round brackets. So round brackets are always there. Single round bracket, this won't do because with list you are providing that again these are the parameters. So these parameters are to be kept in mind. So as far as list is concerned, we have seen many things. So likewise, append we have seen, clear we have seen, copy we have seen, count. So count we will see in case of tuple because list and tuple both are having some common methods. Extend we have seen, index and count. These are the two methods which are same in case of list and tuple. So when we will see tuple at that time, I'll show you one example of count and index. So these are something which we learn in case of tuple. Insert. We have seen insert, inserting an element, pop, taking out element, remove, then reverse. Reverse and short. These are the two functions. Reverse means 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm calling the function reverse, it will do the reversal of the list. So it would be 4, 3, 2, 1. Likewise, shorting. If the order of the list is haphazard 5 3 1 2, so if I'm calling the short function it will be 1 2 3 4 5 likewise. Are you getting that? So all these functions are the built-in function of list: short, reverse, remove. So we'll see the demonstration of this before going towards the next topic. So am I clear to you that whether you are getting what is there with this? Okay, now see this. Again, as I told you that you can use whatever editor you want to use. So as Thoni, I think that from presentation point of view, it would be more easier for you to understand for a layman person of you. So because of that, here I am using Thoni for you people. That here I am creating a to list. So we'll see the demonstration of what we have learned till list, all the functions. So two lists or two lists are there, A and B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and second list is containing string list, first, second, third. Now simply using for loop, you can print the list. The first list is printed, the second list is printed using a plus operator. What you can do using a plus operator? Intentionally I had made some changes over here. Plus operator signifies what? So plus operator when it is added, when it is adding means what? So A is integer list, B is string list. This is doing concatenation or joining these two lists and the result is placed into C. So here what should be the type of C? So if I'm writing type of C, this will give me what is the type of C. So again list is one of the type, tuple is one of the type, a data type in case of Python. So if I am printing this, that what is I, the ith element, what is the type of this ith element, then from C point of view, it is having 5 plus 3, 8 element, which is concatenation of list number 1 and list number 2. But first 5 elements are integer type and next 3 elements are of string type. So if I'm printing the value and the type, I'll be able to print 1 integer, 2 integer, 5 string, 6 string, 7 string. Are you getting this? So this is the motto of representation of the type and the value over here. We will see the demonstration for this. Okay, I'm running the program. What was there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the first list, first, second, third, the second list. The print, what is C? So what is the type of C? C is a list. So it is providing that the type of the third resultant list is list itself. So first list is list, second is list, and the elements. So what are the elements? What is 1? So 1 is integer, 2 is integer, 3 is integer, 4 is integer, 5 is integer. But which is the sixth element or fifth element? Zeroth, first, second, third. This is string, second is string, third is string. So a list contains heterogeneous data elements. Integer also, string also. Within a list, you can have a list. Within a list, you can have tuple. So even you can say concatenation or you can say appending one list within the other, that is always possible. So that was related to list. Creating a static list, a simple list is there with you and accessing elements of those lists. Now, any other elements or any other functions or any other operators are applicable in this. So I had tried that plus. What will happen in this case? Okay, can you tell me that I had written something like this? C0 is equal to C0 multiplied by 2. So what is C0? C0, C1, C2, C3, C4 are integer. C5 is string. But I am applying the same operator which is multiplication in both the scenario. So what should be the answer? In the first case, whatever value of C0 is there, as it is integer, it can be multiplied by 2 and the same value is stored into C0. But as the second element C5, sorry, as the fifth element, the fifth index element C5, that is a string. When I'm applying multiplication operator, and 2, that is doing what? It is copying the same string again. So this is copying the same string again. If my index number 5 is first, then this first is repeated. So multiplication is doing repetition of first for the second time. Are you getting this? So all the operators are not applicable on all the elements of the list because it is heterogeneous. Some are integer, some operators are applicable, some are strings, some operators are applicable. On all you can't apply. So are you getting this? So if I'll run this program, what will happen? This and this will be executed. Apart from that, I want to try with plus, I want to try with slash. So if I want to try with plus, so what should the answer if I'm trying it with plus? With integer, it is arithmetic operator plus, isn't it? So that should not be any issue. But if I'm doing plus with a string, plus with a string. A element is a string element plus 2 if I'm writing, then string needs concatenation or joining with a string only. So you can't join a string and a integer. So because of that, here I had typecasted 2 into string and then I'm storing into C5. So if this is not there, it will give me error. If this is not there, it will give me error. Plus is not there. Slash is not at all applicable. So slash means division. Division is applicable in case of integer. It is not applicable in case of string. So these are some of the things which you have to do hands-on. Observe yourself. What is happening when you are doing experimentation with all these types of operators? So what will happen in these two cases? We'll see what will happen in this case. That thing also we will see gradually one by one. Okay, it is giving you what? What is the output? What you are getting? It is 2, 2, 3, 4. So the first element, which was 1, so 1 was the first element, 1 into 2. So multiplication is giving you what? C0 into 2. So the answer is 2. And the second thing is C5. C5 is first and first into 2. First into first is giving you 2 times first first. So that is nothing but multiplication when you are applying over here. So instead of that here, I'm changing it and then it is plus. So can you do string with plus 2? String with plus needs again a string. So in that case, you should get an error. So in this case, are you getting that it is showing you error? That what type of error is that? That string needs string, integer is not allowed. So with a string, you need string only. So because of that, you can do typecasting. So typecasting is most important. Both the things are needed to be of the same type, then make it same. So string with a string with plus operator, that is allowed. And again, it could be stored into a string. So that is nothing but joining of two strings. Now it is proper. That first was the answer and 2. Here you can see that 2 is converted into string and then it is appended with first. So first 2. It is multiplied by 2 and then it is concatenated with 2. So because of that you are getting answer first 2. So this is just that have yourself that if heterogeneous values are there, what you can do and what you can't do. So this type of operators can be applied. Some of the types of operator you can't. So this was one of the example in which you are taking values of the string are static or predefined. That a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, b is equal to this. In previous example, we have seen that dynamically also it is possible to get value of all these elements of the string. So what should be the combination to get the values of all these elements? If you remember, or if you are watching the video regularly, you should be able to answer it very precisely, isn't it? So this was the code what we have executed previously. that n is equal to int input, enter the value of n. So input is the function which is for input for providing value from the user side. So from keyboard, whatever you are pressing, that thing is considered as the output of this input. So that can be fetched within some variable, and then that variable is of integer type, then make it n. I'm simply revising how dynamically you can input value within a list. Then value n is there. Simply I want to print that what is the value of n, what you are doing, and then map int comma input, enter n values dot split. Then these are the brackets. A space is the separator, comma n. So if I'm writing 1 space 2 space 3 space 4 space 5, all these elements are converted into integer, and what you are getting is integer list. So as the list is a topic, this thing we have seen in case of array when you are working with for loop, when we have worked with for loop. So this is signifying what? That dynamically you are giving an input variable into list, and then you are printing it. So if I'm running the program, what will happen? If I'm running the program, what will happen? It is, first of all, it is asking you that enter the value. So if it is 4, so 4 values it is expecting separated by space, 1 space 2 space 3 space 4, and then if I'm printing, it is 1 2 3 4. So this value is dynamic. 4, 10, 15, 20, 100, 200, anything you can provide. So because of that, keep this thing in mind. Static, basically static list you are not using. So this code is getting the list value dynamically. And if all are integer, then it becomes an integer list. If all are string, it becomes a string list. But list will always contain heterogeneous elements. Integer list, integer string, everything is possible in case of list. So that was simply how to take, or that was a demonstration for static values and dynamic values inclusion within a list. The second example is related to index. The index, what we have seen, 0 to 2. Nothing is specified, it is 0 to 2. So length of the list, len function, it will provide me the list. And then it is nothing to 2, 2 to 4, nothing to minus 3, minus 1 to minus 3, minus 3 to minus 1. If you will work with this, what should be the answer? So just tell me without running, before running the program, just tell me what should be the answer. I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first, second, third. First list I'm concentrating on. What should be the length of A? So length of A should give me answer 5. Then if I want to run the list for this demonstration of this, 0 to 2. 2 is not considered. So here you can see that equal to n is not considered. Nth value is never considered. It is going from 0 to n minus 1 only. So in this scenario, it will provide me index number 0 and 1. Value at index number 0 and 1. So it is 1 to, for the first value, it would be 1 to 2. It will start with 2, but won't go till 4. So it will be 0, 1, 2, index number 2 and 3, that is considered from 2 to 4, then 0 to minus 3. So what is this minus 3? 0 to minus 3. So minus 3 means what? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. So it is index number, forward index number 2. So from 0 to 2, it is equivalent to 0 to 2. So 0 to 2. So the first value, the first print and the third print are same. The first print and the third print are same. Likewise, minus 1 to minus 3. As I told you that negative indices are not possible in reverse manner. So minus 1 means what? The last value. So from last value, where you can go? You can't go anywhere, isn't it? So last to second last to third last means last to minus 1 to minus 3. This will give you error. That reverse indexing not possible from 4 to 2. From fourth index to 2 index, it is not possible. So this will give you error. Likewise, minus 3 to minus 1 is possible. Minus 3 to minus 1. So it will print 2, 4. 3, 4. It will print 3, 4. So this is possible. So just to demonstrate, so we'll see that as you have seen string functions. So in string function, this is always there. This is already there, slicing. It is substring from a string. Likewise, you are slicing, you are taking out some element from the list and you are printing. So should I run the, so whether I'll get the error if this much code is executed? What are you expecting? Let's see. It's giving you error. Invalid index. Which index is invalid? Adding element To demo here, you are having invalid index. So this is the function. This is creating problem. That here it is always giving you problem. So this is not allowed in case of. Okay. See this function. So when you are giving, you are getting everything in green signifies that you are in safe zone because it is in comment. But if it is not in comment, then you have to keep that portion in comment. Now everything is in comment, isn't it? So the portion which I want to check. So the portion which I want to check is only upper portion. Now this was removed because this was creating problem. Now if I'm running the program, so it is giving you adding. So adding is here at this point, it should be considered as double quotes. It is a single line comment. And from here, now everything is in green. So this is considered as okay. So here you can see over here that what was expected, the results are the same. That you are doing the substring portion. So from this to this, 0 to 2, 0 to 2, the length of the string is 1 to 3. That is proper 1 to 3, 1, 2. Why it is printing 1, 2? Because 0 to 0th index and first index. Only this thing is printed. Second is not considered. 2, 2, 4. So 2 means what? 3 and 4. That is 3 and 4 is printed. Now this is similar to that of 1, 0 to minus 3. So this is printing 1, 2. This is printing minus 3 to minus 1. Minus 3 to minus 1 means 3 and 4. Again it is printing 3 and 4. That is just to check. Those who haven't known properly yesterday's session for string can go through that. The same is applicable in case of strings also. In case of string also the same thing is there. Now as I had told you that append is there, all this function we will see directly. That append 6, where it will append, appending is always adding at the end. Likewise, if I'm printing the length of the array, then length of the array will always be increased by 1 when you are appending an element within the list. Likewise, I'm inserting an element. So insert function needs two parameter, the index and the value. So at index number 2, insert value 7. And then again, I'm printing the element. So if till this I want to check whether everything is working fine or not. So what is the result? So it is append 6. So my original list is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it will be 6th at the last index. And then this function insert is inserting element 7 at index number 2. So index number 2 means what? 1, 0th index, first index, and at 2 index you are inserting 7. So what answer you are expecting? It is length of the list is equal to 7. So I should elongate the answer. So length is 5. You are appending 6. It is appended at the end. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Length of the list when you are inserting at location number 2. So at index number 2, 7 is inserted and the length will become 7. So 7 is the length and you are inserting at 7. Inserting at location number 2. So 2 and other elements are automatically reshifted. So that was related to inserting, using or include elements within the list using append and insert. So using append and insert, you can insert element. Likewise, using remove, pop, and del keywords and clear. You can delete elements from the list. So everything we'll see one by one only. That what you are having? 1, 2, 3 inserting, everything is there. So 7 elements are there within the list. Now here it is remove. Simple function remove needs one parameter. If I'm not giving any parameter, it will give me error. If I'm providing the parameter is 7, then only 7 is removed. Only 7 is removed from the list. So length of the list will remain the same and 7th is removed from the list. So what would be the resultant answer over here? So the resultant answer will be 1, 2, 7 that would be removed. Then 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you getting? Likewise, pop. Pop without argument will always pop the last element, but pop with argument will pop the element at index number 1. So that is the case over here, that pop without argument, pop with argument. Are you getting? So this is considered as delete. So delete at location. So before that, should I run the program or what you are expecting the results to be? I think these functions are very simple. So these functions are deleting, popping, removing. Okay. So as that and marks are you are specifying properly or not properly, so that is creating always problem. Okay, so these were the elements which are included within, or these are the things what we have included with the comments. Isn't it? Pop, remove, and then del. Del is the keyword. With that, you are specifying the element. That element is only deleted. Del, and then the list name. So this list name will delete the whole list. And when you want to print the list, at that time you will get an error. After this, if I want to print the element, if I want to print the array, then you can see this code will provide to you this py file. You can remove the comments and then you can check it out yourself that exactly what is happening, because it is of no use to waste the time in deleting, in specifying each and every function to you people. So del and then the list, it will delete the whole list. If I want to print this, it will give me error. So this is erroneous code, that A is not in existence, you can't print. But if I'm calling clear, so this clear is clearing the list and it will provide me the length of the list as 0. So it makes number of elements in the list as 0. So these are the things related to deleting and inserting element, inserting using append and insert, deleting using remove, pop, delete, and clear. So functions for this. The third example. Now the third example is related to whatever you learned. Can you convert that thing into a real practical implementation? So here I had taken what? Here I had taken an example. See this. Take a list of elements, and it should be an integer element. Take a list of numbers, and then create 4 different lists. In first list, all the elements which are divisible by 2. Second list, all the elements which are divisible by 3. Third list, all the elements which are divisible by 5. And the remaining elements are to be on the fourth list. So can you divide the list into different categories? Yes, it is possible, because you need what? So here the constructor is used. The first thing is dynamically you can ask to the user that all the elements what you want to input, you can get the element dynamically. After that, here I am calling the constructor list. Now this constructor list signifies that I am creating empty list 2, empty list 3, empty list 5, empty list extra. Because what is my purpose? My purpose is to categorize all the elements within the list into 4 types: divisible by 2, 3, 5, and none of the above, not by any of these 3. So for that, the logic as for loop is there. Take one by one elements, then append is the function. So in the empty list, using append function, I'm taking one by one element, putting into 2 if it is divisible by 2, 3 if it is divisible by 3, 5 if it is divisible by 5, and extra if it is in else case. Else case means what? Not by 3, not by 2, 3 or 5. So if I'm printing all the elements which are divisible by 2, 3, 5, and 7, so it is creating what? 4 lists from a single list. So if I'm running the program, what will happen? Control L, run the program. It is asking me how many numbers you want. So I'm writing 7. So are you getting what is the purpose of this program? That I'm having a list. It is a dynamic list, and again I'm writing with space character. So through space, I'm giving the values. So 7 values are there. 7 I had kept. Now what should be the value within my list? First with name 2, all which are divisible by 2. So which are divisible by 2? 2, 4, 6. Which are divisible by 3? Only 3. Divisible by 5? Only 5. And the remaining which are 1 and 7. So that is created in this. So list 1 to 7. List number 2 will contain 2, 4, 6. List number 3 will contain 3. List number 5 will contain 5 and list extra. So 1 is not divisible by 2, 3, 5. 7 is not divisible by 2, 3, 5. So in extra you are getting the other elements which are 1 and 7. So whatever you are learning, whatever functions you are learning, functions, the description you will get, but exactly how to use within the real example, for that only I had shown you one of the program in which append function, taking input from the function or inserting and updating values within the function within the list can be known to you. Likewise, the third example. Now, in previous example, what we have seen that dynamically you can take the elements, but here the constraint is what? Say 3 o'clock, already 3 o'clock is there. Within 10 to 15 minutes, we'll wind up the session. Let me see that how many students are there still remaining so that I can take one attendance again for this. And we have kept these sessions on YouTube so that as many students as they want to learn, they may learn this, because that was a request from students that many of the time they are not able to join the meet or have some problems and they are not able to do the registration for them only. That was specified. Okay, so that was the case that different things are there, different scenarios are there, what values you are getting, how values you are getting. Now in this example, the formatted input and formatted output, if you want to get, then while loop you can use. So for loop was there, here you are having a while loop. So within the while loop, I is less than int, and so from 0 to 1 all the values are going through, and then you are appending the values. So here it is not are not asking one by one. It is taking an element, converting it into an int, and then you are using the append function, and this appending you are inserting within the list. Now see this, using the while, take one element, append within the empty list. Now either you can use the constructor or you can use this empty list, this empty brackets. Both the things are possible. So if I'm using this list, I want to simply show you reverse function. This reverse function and short function will do the shorting of the list and reversing the list. See the output, you will get it properly that exactly what is happening. Enter the element of the list. So how many elements I want? I want 3 elements. Say here you are getting one by one element. You can also put, say, number 1, number 2, and number 3. 3 elements I am giving. So it is showing you what is the output, what you are getting. That the original list is 1, 2, 3. After reverse, after you are calling the reverse function, it is 3, 2, 1. Array elements after reversing the list 3, 2, 1, and this is created again reversal, but for reversal I haven't used reverse function, but through append also it is possible to reverse the string. So 3, 2, 1, again if you are providing reversal it would be 1, 2, 3, and this is after shorting, after calling the sort function, what you are getting is 1, 2, 3 back. So that was the function which is related to reverse and short, the short functions and the reverse functions which are specified over here. Directly call the sort function on the list, or you can call the reverse function to reverse the list. So if it is an integer list, it will be shorted numerically in numerical form. Now here I am ending that list session, but tuples which are remaining, which are similar to that of list. So simply I'll provide you the overview of what is tuple. So as far as tuples are concerned, so it is an ordered list and it is unchangeable. So element within the tuple, once they are included, you can't change. So if it is 1, 2, 3 within the tuple, you can't make it 2, 3, 4. Are you getting this? So tuples, whenever you are calling tuple at that time, tuples are in round brackets. So creation of tuple is always in round brackets. Assigning the values within the tuple is through round brackets. So in this, tuples are written in round brackets. Apple, banana, cherry, the same thing. Otherwise, list and tuples are same. Only it is unchangeable. Because of that, insertion is possible, deletion is not possible, updation is not possible in case of tuple. So all the functions which are doing updation or deletion within the list, they are not applicable from tuple point of view. So this is a tuple. If you are printing the data type would be tuple only. So this is the list and this is the tuple in square bracket in round bracket. So creating a list and creating a tuple. Likewise, here I had written that a tuple is there whose index number 2 value I want to change it to 5. But in case of tuple, if it is a tuple array, if it is a tuple, then you can't change the index number 2 value. So index number 2 equal to 5. If you are writing, then it is giving you error. That tuple objects does not support item assignment. You can't assign an item to this. So you can't change. If it is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will always remain. So tuples are like this, which are not changeable. But what is the difference? The main difference between list and tuple is that tuples are taking lesser size compared to list. So list are having heterogeneous value. Tuples are also having heterogeneous value. Lists are changeable, but tuples are not changeable. But tuples are taking lesser size, smaller size compared to list. If I'm using this operator, which is size of operator, underscore underscore size of underscore underscore, if it is applied on list 1 or list 2, what I'll get is the values, or you can say size of this list 1, list 2. Both the values are same, 1 2 0, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. The values are same, but the size is different. You can see over here that in case of A, which is a tuple, round brackets, it is a tuple. Square bracket, it is a list. The size is 104 in case of tuple, but for the same elements, the size is 2120, 120. So you can say that size which is occupied by tuple is lesser than that of list. This was the main difference. So the key point which are to be remembered as far as tuple and this is concerned, square bracket for list, round brackets for tuple. List are variable length, tuple are fixed length. All the lists are of variable length. You can change value or you can increment the length, increase the length at any point, but tuples are of fixed length. Once it is created, you can't change it. Likewise, list is mutable. Mutable means you can change the value. Second element can be changed to 4, second element can be changed to 5, but second element can't be changed. It is immutable. You can't change value within a tuple. Likewise, lists are more functional, are having more functionality compared to tuple. It is always obvious because many things are there. Extensibility is there, signifies that you are always having more functionality in list compared to tuple. So that was a difference. Here you can see that accessing elements same as that of tuple. Negative indices are also possible in case of tuple. Indices or ranging, what we have seen in case of list, the same thing is in tuple. Negative indices, the values, what you are printing the values as in list, the same thing is in tuple. So wherever difference is there, I'll show you that checking whether the value is exist or not. As we have seen in list, the same thing is in tuple. To find the length function is there, which is applicable in list and tuple both. Here you are having what? That tuple index number 3 is equal to orange. This is not possible. So it will raise an error that you can't change the value. Apple, banana, cherry, only apple, banana, cherry is possible. You can't change cherry to orange. So that is not possible. Changing value is not possible. Are you getting this? So these are some of the things which are there related to tuples. Now removing the element del function, that is possible. Del keyword you can do within this, but a specific element you can't delete from this. Adding two tuple and creating a new tuple, that is possible. Plus operator is applicable in case of tuple and you can create a new tuple. Joining two things. Constructor, as you are having list constructor, here also you are having tuple constructor to create initial value. Now these are the only two functions, count and index. Count is nothing but it will count how many times the parameter what you are passing is occurring within the tuple. The same thing is applicable in list. Index function, these are the only two methods which are applicable in tuple, count and index. Index is nothing but find the index of the element which you are specifying within the brackets. If I'm writing index 7, so wherever 7 is there, the index of that 7 is written as the value for this. So these are the functions: append, remove, pop, clear, extend, insert, reverse. So these functions are doing manipulation with tuple. So they are not in tuple, but these functions are applicable in list. So these are just the differences between which methods in list, which methods in tuple, and which are the common methods. So herewith I am ending this session for tuples, and just for demonstration I had prepared, so I'll simply show you the overview that array is there, tuple is there, length. So as far as length part is there and type part is there, it will show you. So in case of list, you can change the value of an index. In case of tuple, you can't change. It is not possible to change. Count is possible, index is possible. Count how many times 2 is occurring. So that will give you number of occurrences of 2. Index number, index will specify where exactly 2 is lying. So what should be the answer? Where exactly 2 is lying? Say 1, 2, 3, 2, 5. This is my tuple. So if I'm calling count, it will provide me 2 times 2 is there. But which if I'm asking index 2, the index 2 will find where 2 is there. So 2 is there at index number 1 also and 3 also. But it will always give you first index number. It won't give you second index number. So index is returning the first occurrence of this value 2 and index of that value. So are you getting this? And plus T1 is equal to T1 plus T2. So addition means concatenation or joining is possible in case of tuple. And this was size of operator. Size of operator, using this size of operator, size of function, you can always find size of list, size of tuple. If I'm running this program, you can see that size of tuple, that is list is 40, that of tuple is 32. So tuple is having lesser sign than that of list. And apart from that, if first and first is there, so if you are creating a tuple for the first time and only one value is needed, then a comma is always needed after the first value. If you are writing like this, it is considered as a string. This T2 is considered as a string and this is considered as a tuple with only one value. So in PPT I had specified it. So this is first is tuple, second one is string. So I think that it's enough for today's session. We are ending this. We are ending over here. So assignments will keep, and any at